What if stepping up from the Mosquito XET didn't just mean more power, but a complete leap into the future of helicopters? Today, we break down why the Leonardo AW09 represents the ultimate analog world upgrade from the Mosquito XET platform. And here's where it hits you. Moving from a Mosquito XET to an AW09 isn't just an upgrade, it's almost a different universe. The Mosquito XET has always been that little rocket for weekend flyers. Kit-built, single seat, a personal playground in the sky. You strap in, twist that throttle, and it's all you, your engine, and the horizon. Freedom. RA single, intuitive. But that freedom comes with a price. It's expensive. You're the mechanic, the safety officer, the flight planner. One misstep, one maintenance oversight, and it can all go sideways. Now slide into the Leonardo AW09. Suddenly, you're not just playing pilot, you're stepping into a certified commercial-grade helicopter. Multi-role, designed to carry passengers, crew, or even medical patients. Feature shift is more than operational, it's emotional. From tinkering in terms of backyard hangar to flying a machine built for reliability, safety, and mission-ready capability, the AW09 doesn't just ask for respect, it demands it. And it's not just about size. Bigger cabin, bigger engines, bigger payload? Sure, but it's also certification, reliability, and mission scope that transform this from a hobbyist's toy into a professional tool. Every panel, every control, every certification ticked off is about trust. And once you realize that, you start to see why this isn't incremental. This is a leap, a jump, a transformation. What would you do if you had this kind of helicopter in your hangar? But it gets even more interesting when you look at the story behind the machine. It all started with Martin Stuckey and the SH09 concept, a boutique idea from a small team with a dream. The SH09 wasn't about flashy marketing or global ambitions. It was about building a helicopter that worked, that felt good in the air, that challenged what small manufacturers could do. Then came the rebrand to Copter Group, a subtle but meaningful shift, moving from a garage dream to a company with structure and ambition. Then 2020 hit, and Leonardo stepped in. Suddenly, that small startup idea got wrapped in global aerospace muscle. Certification programs kicked into overdrive. EASACS 27 Amendment 9 compliance became real, and the dream of a professional-grade, multi-role helicopter was suddenly tangible. What once existed in experimental airspace now had serious backing, support, and credibility. This isn't just paperwork. For someone upgrading from a Mosquito XET, it's everything. You're no longer flying an untested kit. You're investing in a machine that has global aerospace resources behind it, designed for safety, reliability, and real-world missions. That backing changes not just how the helicopter flies, but how you feel when you're in it. Confidence, empowered, ready. And here's where the real shift hits: safety, trust, and credibility. Flying a Mosquito XET means embracing freedom, but it's a world where you're responsible for almost everything. The experimental category is light on red tape. You maintain, plan, and fly at your own discretion. But the flip side? Insurance is tricky. Commercial use is basically off-limits, and every emergency feels like a personal gamble. Enter the Leonardo AW09. Now we're talking about certified territory. EASACS 27. Amendment 9 standards aren't just bureaucratic hoops. They're rigorous, real-world safety checks. Think crash-worthy fuel systems designed to survive impacts, human factors engineering that puts organizer and passenger first, and bird strike protection that literally guards against nature's surprises. Every panel, every control, every system goes through testing that ensures that if the unexpected hits, the helicopter has a fighting chance. Certification doesn't just mean compliance, it means insurability, commercial operations, and trust. For operators, that's everything. You can carry passengers, run missions, and do so knowing you're flying a machine built to meet global standards. Suddenly, a weekend hobby becomes a professional tool, and the difference isn't just technical, it's emotional. Confidence soars with every certified tick mark. Would you trade freedom for full trust in the air? With the AW09, that choice feels obvious. And now we are entering territory that makes the Mosquito XET feel like a bicycle next to a sports car. The Mosquito XET runs on a piston engine. Lightweight, simple, and familiar to kit builders. It's enough for weekend hops, short jaunts, and the occasional thrill ride. But there's a ceiling. Performance, reliability, and operational flexibility all plateau. The AW09 flips the script with the Safran Arriel 2K turbine. Dual FADEC control, 1,000 shaft horsepower, and a power delivery so smooth it almost feels like the helicopter flies itself. Turbine engines aren't just about raw speed. They're about consistent, reliable power that rarely falters, even under commercial workload. The reliability difference is massive. Where piston engines might need careful monitoring or twin setups for safety, a single Arriel 2K handles most missions with room to spare. Fuel burn? Yes, turbines sip more than a piston on a casual ride. But that's the trade-off for extended range, higher payload, and commercial readiness. EMS, air taxi, corporate transport, all benefit from a turbine's predictable, robust output, maneuveroromises, no guesswork. It's the heart of why the AW09 isn't just bigger, it's fundamentally smarter, safer, and ready for real-world operations. Imagine swapping your weekend flyer for a machine that can be counted on every single mission. That's the turbine promise. And here's where the AW09 feels like stepping into the future. The Mosquito XET cockpit. Minimal analog gauges, a handful of dials, and your pilot instincts filling in the gaps. It's raw, yes, but it demands full attention. Every switch, every reading, every decision rests squarely on the pilot. The AW09 swaps that for the Garmin G3000H full-glass cockpit. Synthetic vision that practically paints the world in 3D. Touchscreen controls that respond like your phone, but smarter. IFR-ready architecture, so flying in clouds or low visibility isn't a gamble. A single, intuitive control interface manages multiple systems, significantly reducing workload and stress. Professional cockpit ergonomics mean everything is exactly where you need it. No reaching, no guessing. IFR certification isn't just possible, it's built into the design. Suddenly, what once felt like a hobbyist's challenge becomes a professional pilot's tool. Here's where design maturity features. The Mosquito XET uses a conventional twist grip thietle, simple in terms of direct, but limited in ergonomics and fatigue management. The AW09 goes overhead, with a single power lever controlling the turbine. This isn't just style, it's a philosophy borrowed from multi-engine helicopters. The benefits hit immediately: more natural hand positioning, stability during long missions, and reduced fatigue on extended flights. You can focus on precision and mission execution, not wrestling with controls. The trade-off? There's a learning curve. Emergency muscle memory for new pilots has to adjust. But that's exactly the point. This design is thinking ahead, preparing pilots for multi-engine operations without overwhelming them. Subtle, smart, and professional. Now, let's talk about space. The Mosquito XET is a single-seat thrill machine, perfect for solo flights and weekend escapes, but limited in practical utility. Step into the AW09, and it's a whole new world. One pilot plus up to 8 passengers, ready for corporate transport, air taxi missions, or VIP excursions. Cabin configurations are flexible. You can have a 4+1 VIP layout for executives, a 3+3+2 setup for group transport, or corporate mock-ups with meeting spaces. Large windows flood the cabin with light and give unmatched visibility, while rear clamshell doors and a flat floor make boarding, cargo loading, and even standing up in the rear easy. The rear access door is tall enough to walk under, something you can't imagine in a single-seat ultralight. Volume matters more than size alone. The AW09 isn't just bigger, it's functional, comfortable, and designed for professional operations. Suddenly, you're not just flying. You're operating a mobile office or luxury transport that can actually make business happen in the air. And now, for something that really separates the AW09 from its kit-built predecessors. The Mosquito XET, one seat, one pilot, zero room for EMS gear or crew. It's fun, but in real-world medical missions, it's useless. Step into the AW09, and suddenly you've got a purpose-built EMS platform. Rear clamshell doors make loading a stretcher effortless, unlike side-loading compromises you see on older designs. The cabin isn't just big, it's intelligently configured. A rotatable airway seat allows the crew to attend to the patient from every angle, while a nurse, paramedic, and potentially a third provider can work together without bumping elbows. Oxygen tanks are strategically placed, monitors and ventilators are within easy reach, and storage keeps critical gear organized but accessible. This is no half measure. Every inch of the cabin has been thought through to save time, space, and, most importantly, lives. It's a level of operational focus you just can't get in an experimental ultralight. The Mosquito XET is a thrill ride. The AW09 is a lifesaver. The transformation isn't subtle, it's massive. For EMS operators, it's like going from a go-kart to a Formula One car. Every control, every layout decision screams professionalism. You're not improvising anymore. You're executing with precision. But here's the kicker. The AW09 isn't just an EMS hero. Passenger transport, corporate VIP shuttles, utility missions, HEMS. This helicopter does it all. It can lift external loads to 3,300 pounds, cruise 140 knots, and cover 423 nautical miles. Multi-role flexibility is where the AW09 truly eclipses experimental aircraft. You're not tied to one hobby or function. You own a platform that adapts to business, rescue, and operational demands with certified confidence. Here's a subtle but critical upgrade: the shrouded tail rotor, or fenestron. It reduces risk during hot loading, cuts noise for everyone on the ground, and boosts overall crew confidence. Ground operations feel safer, especially around people or obstacles, because that spinning tail isn't an exposed hazard. The trade-off: slightly reduced tail authority compared to a traditional tail rotor. But in real-world operations, the safety margin it provides far outweighs the minor handling change. For operators moving from experimental to certified, fenestron is as much about peace of mind as it is about performance. And this is where passengers and pilots feel the AW09 difference immediately. The 5-bladed main rotor isn't just a specs brag. It translates directly into silky, smooth flight. Unlike the Mosquito XET, when maneuver gust or minor maneuvers feels jarring, the AW09 rides like it's on rails. Passenger comfort skyrockets, and that smoothness also changes your perception of safety. Every vibration dampened, every bump absorbed. It feels deliberate, engineered. Yes, complexity increases with more blades, and maintenance is more nuanced than a hobby kit. But the trade-off is performance you can trust. Supply chains for blades are well supported thanks to Leonardo's global footprint, so you're not left hunting parts like you might be with experimental builds. It's the kind of upgrade you notice the moment you lift off. Ride quality and peace of mind combined. The AW09 isn't just hardware, it's a connected platform. After every flight, key data streams back automatically, feeding predictive maintenance systems that flag issues before they become problems. Traditional experimental aircraft rely on owner diligence, but here, maintenance intervals could stretch beyond the typical 25 to 30 hours of small rotorcraft, saving time and reducing operational headaches. This predictive model doesn't just protect the helicopter, it lowers long-term operating costs. For operators upgrading from kit aircraft, the difference is night and day. You're moving from reactive tinkering to proactive connected reliability. This is modern aviation thinking: smart, efficient, and built around real-world operations. Here's where the AW09 really flexes. With a 6,200-pound internal max takeoff weight and 6,600 pounds external, it can sling heavy loads without breaking a sweat. Endurance stretches up to 5 hours. Cruise speeds keep missions efficient, and single pilot operation is feasible even in IFR conditions. Something Mosquito XET owners can only dream about. From recreational flights to corporate hops, utility lifts, or EMS missions, the AW09 adapts seamlessly. It's not just more powerful, it's capable in ways the experimental platform could never match. Every spec, every number translates directly into mission versatility, endurance, and real-world usability. Twin engines sound impressive, but the costs stack fast. Double maintenance, double inspections, double fuel burn. The AW09's single Safran Arriel 2K turbine is reliable enough that most missions don't need a backup. Turbine failures are rare, and auto-rotation overland adds another safety net. Twin engines only really become critical in urban high-density areas or overwater operations where every second counts. For most operators upgrading from a Mosquito XET, the AW09 hits the sweet spot. Lower operating costs without sacrificing safety. It's a single-engine design that feels confident, capable, and smartly engineered. No upgrade is without challenges. Certification can take longer than expected, and scaling production for a global market brings headaches. Early operators might encounter small reliability gremlins. Supply chain constraints and economic downturns could slow adoption. And yes, there's competition. Bell 407, Airbus H125/EC130, Robinson R88. All formidable machines. But strong demand for a modern, versatile, certified helicopter offsets most of these risks. Operators want reliability, cabin space, and mission flexibility. And that's exactly what the AW09 delivers. This is where the idea of an upgrade becomes real. You're not just moving from a weekend hobby flight to something bigger. You're stepping into a full commercial platform. Life-saving EMS missions, corporate transport, external load operations, and digital systems integration all become part of your reality. From mechanical simplicity to sophisticated glass cockpit controls, one pilot suddenly commands an 8-passenger cabin. This isn't incremental, it's a category jump. The AW09 is an evolution in Rotorcraft form, turning personal flight dreams into operational excellence. If you're looking at the Mosquito XET and dreaming bigger, the Leonardo AW09 isn't just the next step, it's the full transformation. More power, more safety, more capability, and real-world mission credibility. That's not an upgrade, that's evolution. Let me know your thoughts below.